Hello gamers and welcome to Steel Division Sunday with another Division 5 match. It's game 1 between Bexus and Zol Midura on Tannenberg. Zol Midura we've seen already a couple of times. He's new to competitive play, so kudos to him for participating. And Bexus we have not seen yet on my channel, I think. So let's see how they do. The map is Tannenberg and Bexus will field the 97th Guards Maverick, and then Zol Midura will play with 5th SS balanced. So it can be tricky against the cost-efficient, playing balanced against a cost-efficient Soviet division in Maverick, but we'll see. So 97th Guards, as played by Bexus, he's got snipers, the T-34 Rozvedka, and I turned on the volume a little bit. The Svedor with their smoke, sniper rifle, ET, light machine gun. That's like a fighting squad basically. Doesn't go for like the smaller units like the Dozors and stuff. Any come in the Dushka? No. They could come in Kel, half tracks. Well, not half tracks, but in 50 cal trucks. But then in the infantry tab, mechanized division, you get the Superior Comroti, really cost-efficient leader. Only 3 guys, but they are leaders. They've got a bazooka, so that's pretty cool. After Machiki, really good unit. Guardia DP, and more Guardia DP in A phase. Guardia DP phase, a parry in B phase for CQC, and then Tanko Desaniki as well for CQC. And on Tannenberg, there is some CQC in the center in the forest, so this will be helpful. And then Stravniki's in B phase. No double veterans on any of the cards. But see how that goes. But some leader play is to be expected. Tank tab. E3485s, they've got the 175 range. IS-1 Comroti, 160mm front armor, so that's really good. And we see IS-2s in A and B phase. None of them is vetted, so you could have vetted these potentially. There's some open space in B phase. And then for the town on Tannenberg, and for the town he's got the T-34 1943 for the infantry support in the town, for example. Port tab, turn that up a little bit. So you can expect some underplay, which to me doesn't make that much sense because he's only got 4 leaders. Yeah, and the IS-1 Comroti, so 5, but yeah. Not that much to build up like a proper command network. Maybe in one corner. Then your Flamers, 50mm mortars, they are really good. The Soviet version with 800-meter range. Unvetted machine gunners. Usually you will tend to vet them. And then you get the OB-25, really good gun. Also with the 90mm penetration against heat, against armor. It's heat shells, so they don't lose penetration value with distance, so that's pretty good. And then the commander. No ammo. Anti-tank M42, single vetted as per default. And this 2 guns in A and B phase. Didn't go for the this 3 gun. Maybe because of the penetration values. Possibly. Because this is actually quite good with the indirect fire. And then you get the SU-85 in B phase. Some AA, single vetted, that's good. Soviet AA has recently been buffed, so that's actually quite good. He brings them with the Dushka. The Dushka is pretty shite, but it might draw some artillery fire or something. Artillery tab, 80mm mortars, and there are actually some more leaders, so kind of makes sense then. And then the M30 122mm howitzers, they can fire heat shells as well, like a dual purpose role for just 75 points. That's quite neat. No off map. division, also known for its off-map, no buffed 120mm mortars. Air tap, not much. An unvetted fighter, that is only mediocre. And then one P2 bomber. The P2s used to be good, they are not that good anymore with only medium resilience, but still quite nice. So let's jump to Zol Midura's division. Now, 5th SS is a Panther division. It's got some nice tools, and actually it's a bit up the curve, I think, compared to what it used to be. Double-vetted Aufklärers and the Aufklärer Panzer 3M. So the tank 3M is something you always want to pick, I think, because it usually trades up the Panzer 3. But there's also another good option, the Aufklärungspanzer. It's really good because it can basically scout for itself. Also, the BMWs are actually quite nice if you want to do artillery play, because you get plenty of them and they just cost 5 points. They've got radio. In the infantry tab, the Sturmpios, the Panzergrenadier Panzerfaust, and normal Panzergrenadiers in the half-track, Pioneers, Sturmpioneers, then Panzergrenadiers with the Panzerfaust in half-tracks, and then in C-phase also with the Panzerfaust in half-tracks. So this is, in my opinion, a bit too slow. Personally, I would suggest to put one of these units, maybe the Panzergrenadier Panzerfaust or the Pioneers or the Sturmpioneers, doesn't really matter. One of them for sure into a truck, because this is very slow, 53 kilometer road speed, and sometimes you just need something quick, you know, to stabilize the front line or something like that, and then it's a bit too slow. C-phase, I can understand why you would go for the half-tracks or the SDKFZ spam. I don't mean that negatively, but that can really help. But also the speed can be an issue there. Then T-3485s, captured Russian vehicles. Double-vetted, nice to see. Double-vetted Panther D, also nice to see. Panzer Force, double-vetted Panther A leader and Panther A in C-phase. Single-vetted, you know, that's when he's got his income. But double-vetting everything before that is pretty cool. He did decide to not take the leader. The Ace, I don't know why. It doesn't make any systems difference gameplay-wise. And it's always fun to have a leader, but they tend to die. An Ace, I mean. Field Gendarmerie. Now, I think we've seen him do that before. That was an interesting tactic. He combines the Field Gendarmerie with the Flamers in the forest. And also it sent him to like spots to hold the front line and stuff. And it's actually such a not good unit with just 4 MP40s. So fighting power is very limited. Discipline trait is not needed, really. Because I know disheartened troops. But it worked really well in the other game. So it's a cool combination, and it's I like it when players try out new stuff. It's interesting though that he doesn't take the Griller at all. In particular on Tannenberg it can be helpful in the open. And then he gets the Panzervernichtungs, really good squad. The Jagdpanzer usually trades up, Pak 40, and then Jagdpanzers in A and B phase, which is kind of like a cheaper tank option. Potentially he could have taken one in C phase, maybe, because he won't be able to bring out all that he's got in B phase. Air tap, Block 43, Gepard. They are not phase locked in this division, so you could bring them in A phase, and then in B phase. Personally, I think having something mobile in A phase is helpful because you can shift it around. Attack somewhere else, and they are a bit cheaper as well than the Flak 43, and it still deters shitty units. And against good planes, none of that will be enough anyway. So probably I'd put them in B phase and in A phase, the Gepards in A and them in B. With the Bergepanther though, that's a cool unit pick here. It's got it's basically a tank for just 5 points. You get AP and HE, so this is really cool. Well built. Artillery tab, we see 120mm mortars in A and C phase, that's really cool, and in B phase the 105mm. Might be worth betting, but probably not. It's just a bit extra rounds, rate of fire not needed necessarily. No Wolfpack though, and does have support, yeah. Supplies. Then Recon Plane, nice to see. Focke-Wulf F8 will be cool against the Soviet armor and the IS-2s. A and B phase, and B phase vetted, so that's a good call, I think, as well. And then you get the bomber in B phase. Potentially he could have put them in C phase as well, but you know, having the option in B phase is probably not the worst idea, because you're more flexible, and even if he goes to C phase, it's unlikely that he'll be able to call in 6 of the bombers, given the costs for, let's say, the Panthers, for example. Now let's go to Tannenberg. Here we are on Tannenberg. On the left-hand side, in red, we've got Bexus playing 97th Guards, Maverick income, and on the right-hand side, we've got Zol Midura playing 5th SS with the balanced income type. Now, we've covered Tannenberg before. Red can kind of nicely push into here. A bit more difficult for, in my opinion, for blue to get into here, because lots of AT guns can be nicely hit here. This is this flag can consequentially be snatched by red rather easily, easier than this one, because of the the supply that can be given from this direction and from here. As you can see with the forest and stuff, it's much harder to support this flag as the blue player. There's some shenanigans that you can do. Somewhere here you get like kind of line of sight into the forest, and lots of fighting usually takes place here. It doesn't necessarily define the outcome of the battle, much like on Orsha East. Now this flag is also a bit more exposed for the blue side, so I think blue side is potentially a bit the shittier side, also because red has this lovely church, and blue only has a church here. If you get on the red side, you can count yourself a bit lucky. Sometimes there are some shenanigans like up here, so be aware that you might have to put something over here somewhere to secure your flag. Even like a 5-point SDKFZ or whatnot could push you here a bit and steal the flag, and be it for a brief moment. Now let's take a look here. I saw that. Now both players did it a little bit, I think. Now this is the deployment, and here you can see the Jeep. Jeep is 95 kilometers. This is 70. So what you want to do is put your fast units first always. Otherwise they have to overtake, and it costs them some time. Also, if they start a little bit later, you obviously arrive later at the destination as well, and that can really make a difference depending on the map. Well, let's see how he deploys. Offensive deployment here in the south. This is quite a bit of deployment here in the center. Doesn't want to lose that, and also some nice deployment here. What is actually, there's an OB gun going into the here, and what else is going into there? The Razvedka. This is, yeah, some units will be put here. This is also here the red player can nicely apply some pressure on this kind of road here, and the blue player cannot really because of all the forests here. Another advantage for red. And here in the north, defensive yet aggressive deployment, preparing a possible push. You can already see that Zol Midura has less units on the map because they are more costly. I don't know if he's got some planes, but we'll see. Rather defensive deployments, same here. Forest, quite a few units. We start immediately with a Flak 43. This one is a bit aggressive. Okay. Hard to predict how it's gonna go. We don't see the Zol Midura field gendarmerie. Well, we see it with 2 units. Yeah, we see this kind of combination push. This will be interesting to see. Okay, here we go. And the match has started. We have sound effect. Yes, we do. And did they play with the timer, with Eugene time limit? You're supposed to switch that off in the league and most tournaments, because otherwise it could end. The match could end in a draw, and then you can't see in the replay channel who won. Where will be the first clash? No, the Jagdpanzer is a really good unit, and here we see actually some points went into the Recon plane. Can do some close air support a little bit as well with its 20 mils. Not sure if he's going to do it. Ooh, the puck here, shooting, killing this unit, and that means he will lose his flag right from the get-go. And this is a very aggressive push into this flag. And there's nothing to deny that. I think that Bexus redirected that, because when we checked it, I think they didn't go here. So that's a nice push into that position. But immediately respond with the 120 mil, so Zol Midura is up to his micro here. And he maybe even sees them, I'm not sure. Sending them over. The Berge Panther, take a quick look at this. So funny. And the mortar shelling, 120 mils. He redirected to this. They are quite vetted here. And there's an artillery, an AA piece coming out. And this is a typical position for the red player. You can't go in anywhere here. But we see a field gendarmerie push. How cool is that? This will cost Bexus the flag. And here we can see this flag is easily snatched by red, with the support from the side here as well, and with the church tower that gives such a huge advantage. But he did not even go in the church tower. He misclicked apparently. But there's a good unit combination here, and I think he could be able to push back. The mortar needs to do something now. This is the moment for the blind shot, right about here. But he's going for this. He spotted them with his flamer. Let's see if it hits. Field gendarmerie inbound. I like this field gendarmerie play. It's so funny, and it's actually quite cheap. And the field gendarmerie has a chance against the Ogdemechiki that are already down one man. Now the AA is getting to work. Oh, the SDKZ goes down to the Guardia DP and the AT rifle here. Good movement here to send the Jagdpanzer forward nonetheless, because he needs this flag. Back to a 12-12. And we see the field gendarmerie flamer push. Mortar doing a good job, but now the flamers need to move in. They're not surrendering, probably because they were already in the zone and no unit was close enough. More field gendarmerie inbound. Okay, they've surrendered both. Nice play here. Flamer and field gendarmerie still alive and kicking, but Bexus is up to a 15-9, and that's because this flag is so shitty to defend for blue. Same goes for this one, and then he snatched the one in the forest as well, which can go either way. Puck 40 doing good job. APCR switched off. Nice micro here by Zol Midura. But he will have a hard time holding them up here. That's a lot of Aftermachiki. And if Bexus micros them and they don't dance, then it's a problem. Usually. Okay, unfortunately, I'll stop moving with this dude. He would have killed the Zis 2 gun and captured this flag, and now they will go down to the Guardia. But usually if you play balance against Maverick, the balanced player kind of needs to get a tick, ideally, in A phase. And the Aftermachiki will shred them. Oh no. And they've moved, so the artillery comes too late. But it might take out the Komroti, and that would be a good kill. The M42 threatens all these units, but the Jagdpanzer could go forward. Rocket plane against the Rozvedka, good call here. Getting rid of that. But the investment into air and also this AA piece is now means that there are not enough units on the ground. And he moved around the Berge Panther. Or Berge Panther. For all the way. Which is good because it actually holds him the flag. And another mortar coming in. There's too much investment in mortars, in my opinion. He needs to get troops into here. And yeah, solidifying this position will be tough with all those M42 guns that are upwetted. The sniper's still not in the church. But now, as we are saying it, Bexus noticed it. Maybe he didn't want to dare losing it beforehand or expected the shelling or something, I don't know. Here you can see that the P-grants are so slow that it is a problem. Good mortar play by Zol Midura overall. They're all falling back now, but the Komroti will prevent the surrender. And field gendarmerie hunting the Soviet army. Now these troops are quite slow, and the SIS-2 gun here is a problem. And now he's pushing. The Jagdpanzer needs to go forward, and the Jagdpanzer presumably took out the unit here, the M42. Now the Jagdpanzer just needs to go a little bit, maybe to here, to hold the line, send the P-Gran into here, and then it would be 14-9, and now it's an unnecessary double tick. The Berge Panther went down, and that will mean 2 flags for Bexus. So what's sometimes worth doing is just put like a cheap unit. It could have been a field gendarmerie, kind of like somewhere here. You know, just to hold the line a bit better. If he moves now, that, yeah, but this Panzer Grenadier arrives in the nick of time. So he calls in a Jagdpanzer here. But the thing is with the Jagdpanzer, there's actually no need for the Jagdpanzer because there's no armor. There's the pack against this. Now the mortars should attack the support guns here. That would be a prime target. But they are now silent. One is almost empty. APCR micro, nicely done here. And the Recon unit does not hold the front line, so this will collapse. Now we see the P-grants being called in. So what you need to try to do, I can't do it, but I can tell you what you need to do at least. You need to call exactly these units in before these 2 flags fall. So you will often see the pro players like League 1, oh they traded, like League 1 players or also Division 2, and they call the units in before they are actually needed. And they kind of read the game and predict what's going to happen. And that's why they are in Div 1 and 2. Well, I can't do it. I'm not in Div 1 or 2. Quite far away from that. But this is also going to be a tough fight. And yeah, the field gendarmerie against the Avtomachiki, no chance. And also the Shrelly, the Saperi Komroti are running. And now this is, yeah. So if you do that, I would suggest, because this is not like a full-blown push that can do much, keep 1 unit behind at least to maintain control of the flag. Here you see the spread is quite large actually. The Pak 40 went down, but he did move forward here with the Sturmpio. Get the flag, that's good. Oh, there's the IS-2, and there's also, and we are in A phase still. There's also AA, so the Focke-Wulf will have a hard time. Field gendarmerie actually still alive. 13-11. SDKFZ going down to the Rozvedka, and all these units will probably die. Are they microed? No, they are not. The Avtomachiki are dancing, so the Sturmpires do stand a chance. They are double vetted, so, and quite a few units. There is strength in numbers, and they have lots of health as well. Yeah, and they are falling back and surrender. More Sturmpires and the P-Gran. But Zol Midura kind of managed to stabilize everything a little bit. Still being ticked, and he has to face an IS-2 already. Another Pak 40. Good mortar shelling here. Will it hit? No. Now that's the unfortunate thing with the spread and why rocket artillery is so good. If you have a bit of a spread, it's cool for if you expect your enemy to move. Like if he walks around with his, let's say, stationary artillery or RT, for example. Then a bit of a spread is actually quite nice because it increases your chance of hitting, because the spot you hit when the artillery piece or AA piece fires is actually not the spot where it will be after the attack. So now this is a bit of a pickle. Those M42 guns are really nasty. They've got a high rate of fire, 10 for AG, 12 and 12. And they traded here. At least something. Now the field gendarmerie went down. And one mortar is out. Oh, this unit pinned down to all these troops. And the Jagdpanzer went down. To the IS-2, I presume. The bomber is a really good call. Unfortunately for Zol Midura, I think it misses quite a bit. Now this Jagdpanzer is not in a bad position, it needs to go further up. But here you see it's tricky. 13-11. But like I said before the video, at the beginning of the video, this flag, really shitty for blue. Some good hits here now. The defensive deployment actually paying off. Lots of transport kills here. 2 at least. And a third. And since a change a couple of patches ago, units that are hit don't always in a transport don't always all of them die. There's like a calculation behind it now. If you hit them with a tank, it's likely they die, like a proper tank with lots of damage. And this one does 8 damage, but let's say 10 damage. But also usually some units survive. And before that you could kill lots of units with like sneaky PTRS units, for example. Now a push here with the Guardia DP anti-Aftermachiki. The P Grand is in a really bad spot. He would have had to be here kind of, but then he would have, or here maybe at least, so that he has a chance to make use of his machine guns, but he's only covering this road. But even not quite, it's probably more than 750 meter maybe. About. Commander being brought in. And now Flamers. German Pioneers and more are coming in. It's 16-8. The double tick is real, and it's still 6 minutes 20 seconds in B phase, which is the strong phase for Bexus. Panther leader coming in, and here you can also see this is red. Red has lovely lines of sight here, to threaten the front line, and blue, this is not so good. The houses and stuff. I mean, obviously you can put something in the house or next to the house, but then you're also more exposed. Too much suppression on the Focke-Wulf already. It goes down. It doesn't go down, but it is suppressed quite hard. And there's these 2 guns taking out the tank here. The 120mm mortars being resupplied. This 2 gun being targeted by the Henschel 111. Good target, but there's AA in play. But they are thrown from quite a distance, so that's actually quite nice. So they get the hit and they get the kill. Now the mortars need to go for the AA guns. Now, oof. Now the Panther in a tank fight at point blank range, anything can happen. In particular with APCR switched on, but now it was the last APCR shell. Loader knocked out. That's not the worst crit you can get. 16-8 though. This flag is about to fall as well. There's an SK-18 coming in. Artillery is a nice idea, but he needs to win more flags, and he won't with another RTPs. I mean, there's a Berge Panther as well, so that's quite lovely. But he needs to at least get 2 flags. There's hardly any troops in here either. That's a problem. These troops could push and overthrow the Pigran. Lines of Zol Midura are very thin now. What's the mortars aiming at? Here you can see good mortar play. He's shift queuing an order to move them here, and already he moved the ammunition. That's really nice. But the Aftermachiki are just shredding. Now the Superior Commodity is coming a bit late to beef them up. It might cost him. Now the Jagdpanzer should get a kill. Come on. Spot them. Only one hit. And there's the second one. Fast reload time. Oh, and it misses. That's a bit unfortunate. Looking really tough now. And there's I think it was a GG. I think there was still a little bit time left, but I think that was a GG. Good effort, well played. But you can see he got outtraded. Here you see Zol Midura, super new to multiplayer. Sometimes the stats are reset, but he commented a lot already. Thanks a lot for that as well. And so very new to multiplayer. And I think it's cool that he joined the tournament or the league. Bexus we can't see, but probably a bit more experienced. Aftermachiki just shredded. S2 did kill the Jagdpanzer as I expected. T-34 here did a good job here in the end. The Jagdpanzer. And then no real hero unit here for Zol Midura. One Sturmpio maybe. Mortar a little bit, but that's already it. Stay tuned for game 2 of 2 players. That's the next game I will show you. And after that, I will show you Jeff Jefferson playing Bexus in their game 1, I think. I've downloaded already. And also, you can leave a comment if you want your league game being casted. Thanks a lot for watching. Until then, bye for now.